Coming up on this show,
driving requires all of your attention, so don't take the drive.
That's right, you'll see why you should never drive distracted. To the kart circuit for our charity challenge. Will the Sunflower Fund or Ark Animal Centre be 2,500 Rand richer at the end of the race? And Gareth McClellan and Werner Kok take the fight to the racetrack. Who will keep it between the white lines and score the knockout punch? You're tuned into Speedstars. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode. Now each week we take two of our celebrity guests and we give them a chance to prove how fast they are behind the wheel, but also very importantly, to make them safe drivers.
This week we are joined by two highly competitive sportsmen. One is a Sevens rugby star and the other is an MMA fighter. What do they have in common? The need for speed, of course.
It's gloves off when international MMA superstar Gareth Soldier Boy McClellan brings the heat to the racetrack. Voted World Rugby Sevens Player of the Year in 2015, Werner Kok is fast and fearless. A skill set he hopes will see him score on the racetrack. This is going to be the episode, I know, where things are going to get fierce, ferocious, competitive. I can't get two more competitive guys sitting in our studio. Welcome, Gareth and Werner. Nice to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
You were going to do rugby.
Yeah, a little. I dabbled.
You were in the Sharks Academy.
I was at the Sharks Academy. And that just led me into an amazing career that I've had so far. I've been very fortunate, I've been very blessed.
So how did that happen? I mean, I know your conditioning coach was into mixed martial arts stuff and you obviously had natural aptitude for it.
They felt I was a bit of fatty and slow around the park, so they there was a nice little pat on the shoulder to say, you needed to increase the conditioning. They sent me along to a guy called Jason Forster.
Yeah.
He had some different training styles, which was all MMA based. And I spent quite a bit of time with him, and the more time I spent with him, the more I fell in love with the sport. And he pushed me quite hard to have a few amateur fights, and I was a bit scared because I didn't want it to affect the rugby career. And then the more that I realized the rugby career wasn't the place I was going to be, I jumped in.
Werner, rugby was always where you were going to be, eh? From a small oak, that was your dream, but you've gone a different route. I mean, most guys would go 15s is for me, but why did you focus on sevens and not go the 15 route to start?
The day when I realized that I want to go sevens was when a guy actually told me I was too small.
A South African problem.
South African problem. But when I started playing rugby since I was very small, when I got to matric, a guy actually that coached us there, our backline, actually told me, hey, you must go and play sevens because your work rate is good enough and you got the speed. And I thought about it, and the day when they announced that sevens is going to be Olympic sport in 2016, that's when I decided, no, that's my dream. Yeah. That's my goal. That's what I'm going to work towards. And I haven't looked back. Sevens is my game, and I love it. And my father actually told me, you can run 40 miles till you drop, and then you can crawl another 40 miles till you die. Yeah. And that's what I live for.
Preparation for you, going into a fight? Is it all in the head? Is it all in the body? Is it a mix?
I think in any sport, the mental side is probably the biggest part of your game. If your mind's not in check, no matter how fit, how strong, how adapt to your situation you are, you're not going to perform. You look at the great sportsmen in the world, they're not any different from the guy next to them. It's just their mind's stronger. They believe more in themselves, they believe in what they've done, and that's what makes them champions. So you need to match it all in together. I still believe in our game it's 70% mental and 30% physical.
Radical, eh?
But you know, you've got to make sure that you have the body to compete with that mind. You know, there's no point being this rock star in your head and willing to take on a lion, but the body can't keep up. You know, the body has to be able to do what your mind wants it to do. The body's an amazing thing. One thing I've learned in my career, you can push your body a lot further than the human mind allows you to think initially.
Yeah. I see both of you are nodding on that. I'm hoping now, I'm hearing there's a lot of focus, a lot of mind games. I'm hoping that you guys are going to be as focused when you're behind the wheel driving.
No, this is war.
No, okay.
This is war.
Before we get to war, I've got to teach you to be safer drivers first. So let's find out just how good these guys are from a safe driving perspective with today's safety lesson.
Now, you might not think that using your cell phone is as serious as drinking and driving, but research has shown that this offense is the result of the increase in road accidents. So if you think that Snapchatting is okay while you're driving, think again.
Drive down here, doesn't matter which way you go, left, right, right at the bottom, you turn around and then you come back doing the same thing. Go straight up and reverse back into that box. Everybody's going to get a chance to do it. And then in the second round, you're going to do it texting. And the idea to that is to create awareness on how dangerous it is to text and drive. Beautiful. Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Simple enough, 100% focus on driving. All our stars had to do was set a base time by completing the course as quickly as possible. The course represents all the basic skills required in a daily drive. Direction changes, parking and turning.
So now you're testing how dangerous texting is while we're driving.
It just shows you the difference between texting and driving and just fully focused when you're driving a car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. So driving requires all of your attention, so don't text and drive.
That beeping noise tells us that Werner forgot to put his safety belt on.
The cameraman.
Talk about not having his head in the game.
Can't even get the text done.
Yeah, but it looks like you've either had a very late night. Because it's deriving requires, exclamation mark, off your A. See the difference, eh?
I probably killed one or two people as well, so.
Sure.
No, it's possible.
What do you...
If you're
No, it's
driving,
very-
texting, it's not safe, I guess.
More worried about the mirror. Don't worry about the mirror, we're gonna go driving.
Oh, okay.
That's a great point, Dave. Mobile phones aren't the only things that distract us when driving.
She loves this car.
Not off to the greatest start.
Set up as well, because you can't do it while you're stopped.
This is going to take longer than the previous one, definitely.
So driving requires all of your attention,
Yes.
so don't text and drive.
So you've got to be spatially aware of how much area a car takes up while you drive, because that's where you hit
So
curbs.
when did I, how, with
As
what
you drive,
part?
with the
Yeah,
back
with-
wheel.
With your rear wheel.
The back wheel.
Yep, this is hard. I usually don't.
This takes all of your attention off the road.
Yeah. I am slow.
It was very difficult for you to concentrate. You're all over the show.
The change in driving is immediately noticeable. Slower, one hand on the wheel, eyes off the road.
There's the flag.
Now imagine a child running into the road, or a car stopping in front of you. Not if, but when will the accident happen?
Got it.
The bad guy.
So, the moral of the story, do not text and drive.
And do not drink and drive. Unless if it's water, then it's fine.
So there are three types of distractions: visual, taking your eyes off the road; manual, taking your hands off the wheel; and cognitive, taking your mind off of driving. What makes texting and driving so dangerous is it does all three. Hectic mobile phones. I mean, Werner, you were in that one, driving distracted. I mean, it's terrible. We feel like I've got to send that message, I've got to stay in touch. Big wake-up call for you, eh?
Oh, definitely. I actually saw it takes like 25 seconds more to go through the course when you're not on your phone. And it's small things you don't think of. If you're going on 120 kilometers per hour, it's seconds. So you have to stop. If you just dip your head and look up, it's too late.
That reaction time. I mean, it's that's literally what it is. And I mean, not only did you take longer, but your message was you're doing both poorly. Your message is bad, and your driving's bad. I mean, you didn't get to do that, but you know, we gave you an underinflated tire challenge. I mean, do you ever check your tires? Do you ever worry about that sort of stuff?
You know, like Werner was saying, it's the small things. You know, these are the things that you take for granted when you're driving in. You know, I need to rush off to the shop. I need to do this, and you know, the wear and tear on your car eventually becomes a problem. And if you're not 100% on it, you can get into some serious trouble. I was shocked at the difference that the car produced when it was I mean, even when it was perfect, it was still a challenge.
Yeah.
And then you go and put it under duress, and it becomes a whole different ballgame. So I think you know, you got to make sure you maintain those kind of levels on your car, and you make sure that everything's right. Like you said, reaction time. You know, if your reaction time's slow and you've got a bad car, there's some serious problems.
I suppose ultimately it's a big responsibility too, because not only your life. I mean, you do risky things. Don't worry about you're impacting everybody else on the road as well. And I suppose we want to try and be, you know, conscious citizens in our motoring. Well done, guys. I'm hoping that you learned something. No road rage.
Well, we'll see. We'll see after the race.
After the break, Werner and Gareth tackle each other on the racetrack. Now the big question is, who will be throwing the punches and who will be throwing in the towel? Hello and welcome back to Speedstars.
Now, Boytie, if you want to be successful in international sport, you really need to put in plenty of hours, lots of hard training. Physically, you've got to be in peak condition. Hard work, this.
Well, luckily, entering our viewers' competition is a lot simpler.
Winning with Speedstars is easy. Predict which of our stars will win in our weekly matchups, and you could win an advanced driving course with Opel. You can enter via our website, on social media, and in the motoring supplements of the Star, Pretoria News, Daily News, the Mercury, or the Cape Times. Our grand prize in our Predict the Winner competition is just incredible. You could be joining the winner of Speedstars as they race off overseas with Michelin for a taste of what it's like to be a racing driver. The Michelin Pilot Sport experience will put our winners on an iconic F1 circuit and behind the wheel of some incredible race cars. Fortis will also be giving our fastest star a timepiece valued at 30,000 Rand.
Now, whether on the field or in the ring, our two contestants have to be very quick on their feet. Now, let's see who takes their team to victory in this week's charity challenge.
Michelin are donating 30,000 Rand to charity. Ark Animal Centre has a no-suffer policy, specialising in the rescue, rehabilitation and rehoming of puppies, pregnant moms and small breeds. The Sunflower Fund aims to educate and recruit a viable, ethnically diverse database of bone marrow stem cell donors in an effort to save the lives of those suffering from life-threatening blood disorders. So let's meet the two teams who will be battling it out for the 2,500 Rand up for grabs in this week's charity challenge. Running an inverted grid, our fastest karters would start at the back, but it didn't take them very long to get to the front of the pack. Don't forget, mixing it up with our celebs are our 4 public stars, and they know a thing or two about karting. With her crown replaced by a helmet, former Miss SA Nicole Flint was leading the way. Nice. Closely followed by Chad Luckoff, who makes a clean pass, but he isn't shaking Nicole off through the infield section. Behind her, Sikar, Sandra, Adib and Werner were coming. The boys jostling for position behind Nicole. What a drive, Nicole making her kart the widest on circuit. This is really so good to see, fantastic racing to complete the first lap. And as you can see, it's given Chad the break out front. Nicole runs a tad wide into turn 1, Sikaar and Sandro don't need a second invite to pass. Now you've got Sandro lining up for a pass on Sikaar into the hairpin. Gets it completely crossed up. Oh, that's a nice recovery. But Adib is through on Nicole and into fourth. We have contact and a spin. Our replay shows Werner running in way too hard and tagging the back of Nicole. The big loser is Werner. Lots of close racing in this charity race. Well, not right through the field as our timekeeper pulls out the calendar for Nonclair. So Chad takes the win for his team, closely followed by Sikaar, Sandro and Adib.
And the winners by 1 point. By 1 point is my team. Yeah!
Match fixing, check that. Well done, Mike.
And a win for the Sunflower Fund.
Well done.
I know you might be feeling all warm and fuzzy inside, but don't get used to it because things are about to get very serious. And as you may have guessed, Werner and Gareth are both in it to win it.
Oh yes, they are back. Multiple production and touring car champion Mike Briggs and the man who changed the face of local motorsport, Chop Sapuka, are ready to turn our stars into speed stars. But they don't do it alone. Our Fast 4 professional driving team of Christo and Dave and Ian and Wesley will make sure our stars are in safe hands. At 2.5 kilometers with just 8 corners, Swartkops Raceway is a relatively easy track to get your head around.
Just like off the brakes, turn it in off the clutch. Off the gas, off the gas. Right. Go back on the gas. Go for it, go for it. Give it gas, go for it. Yeah, you're going mad to this corner. I'll look after you, don't worry. Slowly off the brakes, turn it in. Is it close? I'm scared to turn.
Werner and Gareth, it's a chance to learn the lines, the braking points, and gain some confidence.
More gas, more gas.
I'm on the
There
gas.
we go. I'm going to be flatter than that. More gas.
Brake, 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 brake some more, brake some more, brake some more, brake some more. That's it, some more. And nail it now, nail it. There we go.
You're a little bit.
Yeah, it was a little bit hot in there.
Before getting into our hot lap cars, the Adam S, for final pointers from Mike and Chops.
Third, let go of the clutch. Turn, 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 turn. You must always be closer to that curb there.
Yeah, like in the
Yes.
corner there.
Then you blink, right, then turn again. And then you gingerly wait for it. Flat. There we go.
Simple question. Have any of you ever been on a racetrack before and been told go, faster, push? Have you ever done this? First time?
Yeah, I've been on a track. I don't think I've been in the race situation. So I think this is going to be very interesting. My crazy mind and almost half a ton of steel. I think there's a small problem there.
Thanks for the early warning. So I should put out all the airbags to stop you. Van, have you done anything like this before?
I've done it once. We were in Australia and we had a V8 supercar course that they actually went us through, but nothing like this. I don't have a guy that's shouting at me going faster into a corner, and it's it's a bit weird, but I think it's going to be amazing. With me, I'm a little bit reckless as well. He's got the
Perfect race.
Oh, my word.
I like pulling it in the corners. He's got the control, so
Going to be great TV.
He had half of what I needed, and I had half of what he needed. So
together, you're the perfect racing driver.
he needed. Yeah.
You've been so nice and friendly, but I'm assuming that's going to change now. Race faces?
Oh, definitely. What happens on that track?
This is war.
like I said, it's war.
You've heard it from Gareth Soldier Boy McClelland. This is war. Let's have a look how they go head to head. Our fuel partner, Force Fuel, ensure our hot lap cars are topped up before every head-to-head race. Benchmark times are set by driving instructors on the day to account for changing environmental factors. The challenge: 2 stars, 2 cars, 1 track in a head-to-head race around Swartkops. Each with their own start and finish line. Whoever completes the 2 laps fastest wins. With a synchronized start, getting off the line well is key to getting that early advantage in the race. Both nailed it, but Werner definitely way more aggressive on the changes. Carrying good speed through turn 1, it's 100% focus for the braking point for turn 2. Nicely done. Gareth gets to work on the tabletop section at Zwartkops, turns 5, 6 and 7. That face says it all. Heading up the back straight, the fastest part of the circuit, Werner is flying. Gareth conservative out of turn 8, opting for the smooth, clean approach. But will that be fast enough? Oh, that's what we like to hear. Werner testing the grip levels on those Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. Oh, but he has blown it into turn 8. That is a massive off, and he's clearly not happy. Like Nicole the week before, getting caught out by the downhill braking point for turn 8, carrying way too much speed, that is going to mess up his flying lap for sure. While Gareth keeps the ADMS where it needs to be, on the track. This is a great comparison through turn 4. The key, carry as much speed through here as possible, as it's a long climb up the hill to turn 5. Werner way quicker. And gets it wrong again at turn 8. Werner fast but messy versus smooth and consistent Gareth. Contrasting styles.
I enjoyed that. Confident.
Yeah.
You were plowing some land there.
I think I planted some seeds as well as I went through there.
Don't get a lot of opportunity to do fun things like this and test yourself in different areas.
I was too aggressive, man.
It's different when you get into race mode, huh?
It is, especially when you're alone.
Sure, I knew this was going to be a hell of a matchup. Two of you super competitive. You have fun out there.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You were crazy.
I think it was a bit too aggressive, but...
You think? I was surprised because like he was like you in the ring, like super aggro and fired up, and you were very chilled and smooth.
Yeah, I had a good time. I think it was it's a new experience, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Got the heart pumping a little bit. Definitely the kind of thing I like. So yeah, good fun.
Good, so let's see the results. Now obviously it was a 2-lap race, so I'll announce who the winner is based on the total time over the 2 laps. I'll give you the time difference. We've got a 2-minute 57 for the 2 laps, and we've got a 3-minute 08. So quite a big difference in total race time. And surprisingly, even with all those mistakes, Werner, you were the fastest in this matchup.
There's no way.
Between you and
Wow.
Gareth. So,
Okay.
so congratulations.
Nice,
You've
good job.
you've won that one. I can see there's a rematch coming up here.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
definitely. I'm just staying out of the ring.
We'll keep it on the car.
I'll get some laps.
Gareth, we'll start with you. Anybody in particular that you'd like to take out here?
No, I don't. If I were talking 308s, then I was definitely not the quickest. So probably down the bottom somewhere there.
Oh, is that going to bother you? And if would it bother you if some girls beat you? Would that like really upset you?
One of those things.
Huh? One of those things. That's where you're slotting in a 1-minute 30.80. So listen, no, but the good thing is you beat Nicole, and you were worried about her the whole day. You thought she was going to be the dark horse, so you beat her. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Well done.
Terribly slightly there.
Done.
In control, calm. Now you got to find that little bit of fighter in you. I know you know where to find that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look, Werner. Where do you think you've slotted in, considering your time?
Yes.
You were all over the track, but your total time wasn't too bad. Where do you think you've slotted in here? You're not up top. Okay, so you haven't beaten Sandra, you haven't beaten Maps, you haven't beaten Chad, I can tell you that. You got a 1:26.14. So that's a flippin' good time, bearing in mind that we've got our finals that we've still got to decide at the end. So you're still in with a shout as it stands at the moment. Well done.
Thank you.
Nice.
Great stuff. Well
Yes. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations. Now, obviously, Werner, you weren't the only winner. We had our viewer competition, and one of our lucky viewers predicted that our rugby star was going to sock a punch to Gareth Soldier Boy McClellan. Let's have a look at who our lucky winner was. Congratulations to this week's winner of that advanced driving course from Opel.
And just like that, we have come to the end of another episode. Congratulations to both our winners, and we are keeping our fingers crossed for the all-important finale. Now, next week, we have our homegrown hotties Roxy Lowe and Jay Hubner, who will be on the track. But until then, please drive safely.
Coming up on Speed Stars. She may be the newest face on Top Billing, but is there anything energetic Jade Hubner can't do? With a background in music and dance, she's hoping driving will be a waltz in the park. Born into a sporting family, Roxy Lowe excelled on the hockey pitch and in the surf. But it's as a model that she really made waves. Can she do the same on the racetrack?